Here's a tip on where to bank trading profits. Hi, it's Charlie giving you your midweek video. Whether it's going to go out this midweek this week or not, I don't know. Maybe this will go out the weekend. But anyway, so what we're going to do, we've had some visitors in our trading room on Wednesday and Thursday. I'm recording this actually Wednesday evening. And so I was going through this with the visitors and I thought this is not a bad idea for a video. So you can use this technique whether you're a day trader or whether you're a semi-swing trader, shorter term swing trader, or even a longer term swing trader. So it's very simple. I'm just going to go through it with you. So the daily range on the euro dollar at the moment is 48 pips. Okay, so I'm now going to take that off. Oops, don't need that. Well, I will need that actually. So I'm just going to take that daily range off. So when I was in the trading room earlier today, we were looking at the range of the euro at that stage. If I take this into an hourly chart time frame, we might actually get to see the what was going on the hourly chart. So anyway, if I go back to the daily, at that time this morning, the range was pretty small. It was around about 35 pips from what I can remember at that time in the morning session. Now, if you know that the range itself is the average range is 48 pips, then as an intraday trader, you might then therefore have a bit of an idea that, oh, okay, well, we've still got 13 pips to go to get to its average range, and it's not a guarantee that it's going to do its average range, but at least it acts as a guide, especially if you've got, if I go back to the intraday from today, if you'd got a setup that was to, whether it's to buy or to sell, it might give you that that indication. If you've got a sell set up, for argument's sake, on this down move here, and then you manage to capture that, and then you can say, oh right, okay, right, well, it will have done its daily range by the time it got down to here, because in fact the euro dollar, I think in the end, let's see what its range has been in the end today. So its high has been 52, and it's been a low of basically 116.17. So that gives us 27, 37, 47, a 50, a 30, I'm going bonkers here, 45 pips, sorry, a 35 pip range. Oh God. Oh dear. I'll start again, shall I? So a 35 pip range. Do you know what? I did this exact same mistake when I was in the trading room this morning. Couldn't add up from the differences. So it's done a 35 pip range. So actually, as it's turned out, it's not managed to do its average range. I'm recording this at about 5 o'clock. Now, unless it does, breaks out or has an evening run, which is less likely now at this time of the day, then it's going to be one of those days that it doesn't actually happen. But it's really useful. Now, if we go across to the pound dollar, for example, now the pound dollar, I was calculating this, doing this same process this morning, and by way of that calculation, estimated that if it was coming down at the time, so it was during this phase as it was coming down, and we calculated that to have done roughly its daily range will be when it comes down to my 100 period moving average and just around that 137.40 area. It got down to what, about 43, something like that. So yeah, it had done its range, and so it's a useful indicator just by using the ATR for when you see a market from an intraday perspective that it might still be on a small range. And then if you have got a trading setup, which is whether it's a buy or sell setup, and you know that, oh, it's only done a small range at the moment, if that setup comes along, then I know that there could well be a bit of a run for it to at least get to its average range, or maybe even beyond that. So it's useful information, and then we can take it onto higher time frames as well. So for example, if I go to the weekly chart of the euro dollar, and I then put the average true range on. See, I'm recording this, and it is important to note this. I'm recording this on Wednesday, so it's done so far 126 pips, or 126 pips is its average range at the moment. Okay, So its average range is 126 pips. So if I now come and actually have a look and see how much the euro's done so far, its low of the week was at 115.71 and its high has been at 116.69. So it's just under 100 pips. So there's about 26, 28 pips still to go if it's going to do its weekly range. So it's not a guarantee again, but again, having that information on the weekly charts, and if you were looking back down to the daily charts and you were seeing a setup for, would have to argue, I guess a buy setup right now, but maybe if by Friday it's all rolling over, it might actually be a sell setup. But you know you've got that information at the back of your mind that it may still want to get to that average range. And so you can't really use it the weekly, like I've just done, at the beginning of the week. It's really once you get to about Wednesday or Thursday in the week, if the market that you're looking at is yet to achieve its average range, bear in mind they can obviously exceed it. They can and they will undershoot their average ranges as well, but it's a really useful indicator to use for when you're looking at your own setups and deciding on where to run them to. And then you can take it out to much bigger time frames as well. So we can come out to the monthly chart here and we can see we've got what I'm recording this on Wednesday. So we've got a week and a half, we've got 7 days really worth of trading days left in this month. Okay, so we've got 7 trading days left in this month, and the range, the average range for the euro is 322 pips per month. We can see that is coming down, that indicator is coming down. So let's call it 300 pips, shall we? So let's have a look and see what we've got here. So the low so far this month has been 115.24 and the high has been at 116.70, let's call it. So that's 145 pips. Okay, and so with 7 trading days to go, there certainly is scope for this to expand its range up towards that average range. So again, if you had some trading setups that you were looking at on this market coming back down to maybe the daily charts or whatever, then whether it's to the long side or it's to the downside, you know, okay, we've got 7 trading days to go. If this one started carrying on, it's been coming up a bit. So if it carried on going higher, there could well be another, 100 or pips or more over that next week to potentially to the upside, and likewise to the downside if it rolls over. So just a couple of trading guides there for you this week by just taking the average true range, seeing what that average range is, and then keeping an eye whether you're an intraday trader and using it from an intraday perspective, or even if you're coming out a little bit to more of a swing type trader, using it for that as well. And you can use it on whatever time frames you want to use. Hopefully that's of use for you this week. I'll see you on the next video.